Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. So today I am standing because I wanted you to see my shirt. This says Pemberley in honor of Jane Austen-July. This will be my pile of possibilities. I'm holding some books because I have a whole stack here and I want to talk about these first. So Jane Austen-July is a month-long celebration, of course, during the month of July of Jane Austen and all things Jane Austen related. And I love it because I love Jane Austen. I've read all of her books and I reread them. They're just always on the loop. I just read them all the time and I love them. So thank you to the host of this wonderful celebration that we have every year. And we keep the same prompts because they just work so well for this readathon, and I'm glad that they do that. And I'll leave a link to all the prompts and the host and everything below so that you can see who the hosts are and follow them because they'll be sharing a lot during July. And then also the prompts so that if you want to just pick and choose what you want to read for Jane Austen too. But if you've never picked up a Jane Austen novel, now is the time to do it. I can't recommend her enough. She just reaches across the generations. There have been so many movie adaptations and retellings and spin-offs that she's just such an important part of the literature world, all of us book nerds. And so I do hope that you will try Jane Austen if you haven't done that already. So the first prompt is always to read one of Jane Austen's main 6 novels. And so this year for the group read, we're going to be reading Sense and Sensibility. And I have this beautiful copy that I have not read from yet. So I will be reading from this beautiful copy. It is an illustrated copy. And it's just gorgeous. It has the ribbon bookmark in it. It's a lavender color, which is gorgeous. And then there are these beautiful illustrations inside. I don't know if you can see that. Is that showing up? And so it's just a beautiful edition that I haven't read from yet. And so I will be reading from that edition of Sense and Sensibility. But I also wanted to mention this one. I have this beautiful annotated edition of Pride and Prejudice. And I haven't read this one yet. Now, I've read Pride and Prejudice many times, but I haven't read this annotated edition. So I wanted to read this. I think we read Pride and Prejudice last year for the group read. I'm not sure. But I want to read this. And so I do plan on picking this up. I will not finish it in July because I have so many other obligations. But I do plan on starting this during the month of July, because why not? It is Jane Austen-July, and just work my way through this gradually because I do love Pride and Prejudice so much. So I thought I would mention this book. See if your library has it if you've already read Pride and Prejudice. Now, I don't recommend something like this first. Read the book and enjoy it for what it is. Beautiful, a beautiful story. And then if you love it as much as I do, maybe you could try one of these annotated editions too. So I thought I would mention that I will have that going in the background, but I won't be finishing that. There's no way. And so I wanted to just mention it anyway. And then for the second prompt, it is to read one of her other lesser known works, her shorter works. And we are reading for the group, we're reading The Watsons and Sanditon. And so I do have this little copy that includes The Watsons and Sanditon, and so I'll be reading from this edition. The third prompt is to read something nonfiction about Jane Austen's life or her time period. And so I had picked this book up last year to read it for Jane Austen-July, and I read something else. I can't remember. It was a really good one. What was the book I read? I think it's over there. Let's see. Oh, At Home with Jane Austen. That was a really good one. But I had picked this one up too. The Genius of Jane Austen by Paula Byrne. This is about her influence on Hollywood. And so that sounded like a great one because I agree. There are so many movie adaptations and her books are just, they're made for movies. They are just cinematic. When you read them, you can just see them on the screen. So they work so well for Hollywood. So I'm interested to see what this says about that or how, you know, it's tied into Hollywood. I'm interested in that. So I do have this one. And then I also have this book that I've had for a while and never read it. It's What Jane Austen Ate and Charles Dickens Knew. And this is just some daily facts and in the daily life of a 19th century England. So I thought this one would be a good one too. I can't read both, and nonfiction takes me a little bit longer, so I'm going to choose one of these. Let me know if you've read either one of these, and if you recommend one of these, let me know that in the comments. So prompt number 4 is to read a retelling of a Jane Austen novel, or a novel set during her time period. And I have 4 different books that I've pulled from my shelf. I keep so many of these books. I collect them all the time. If I see anything Jane Austen related, I pick it up because I know Jane Austen July is coming, and I know I can use this for this prompt. And I'm always interested in anything Jane Austen related. So I have several to choose from this year. I have more on my shelf, by the way, but I just pulled these 4. And again, this is possibilities. I don't know which one I'll read, but I'll read one of these. This first one is What Kitty Did Next by Carrie Kableen, I guess is how you say that. This one I think was popular last year during Jane Austen July. It has a beautiful cover. I love that cover. And it says, this book is a must-read for all Pride and Prejudice fans. So I must read this because I am a Pride and Prejudice fan. So I might choose this one. And then I also have a novella. Now this would be easy to just squeeze in. It's called Jane by the Book, and it says it's a Jane Austen related novella. And then I had a couple of books just set during that time period. These are both Regency romances, so I thought this would be a good time to pick one of these up. The first one I put on here because it's a Georgette Hare, and I've never read a Georgette Hare, and I have several on my shelf over there. This is Cotillion, and since it's a Regency romance, I thought I might try a Georgette Hare for the first time. Or Edenbrook by Julianne Donaldson. So let me know if you've read one of these, and if you think which one do you think I should read for Jane Austen July, because I'm kind of debating between the two of these for just a Regency romance, because it just fits so well with Jane Austen July. Now the next prompt is to read a book by one of Jane Austen's contemporaries, and none of them interest me. I'll just be honest with you. So far I just haven't. It's not that they don't interest me. I shouldn't say that. It's just I don't have time for that during July, because I'm not only reading for Jane Austen July, I have other obligations. And so I found this slim little book, and it's by Maria Edgeworth, and I think it'll work for that prompt. It's called Castle Rackrent, and this book is, the beginning's an introduction, the end is glossary, and there's just a slim part in the middle. So this must be like a little novella. And I thought that would take care of that prompt, and I could read a contemporary of Jane Austen by reading this one. So it was just one of them that was recommended for Jane Austen July. So let me know if you've read this. I know nothing about it, but again, it's not that long, so I thought I would give it a try. Now the other 2 prompts, 6 and 7, are related to watching movie adaptations of Jane Austen novels, and the retellings and spin-offs of Jane Austen, and just watch a movie. But I do that all the time, and so that'll be easy for me. I'll just pull out Emma or Pride and Prejudice and just have that playing throughout the month, because I do love watching most of the time. Most of the adaptations I enjoy. There's one that I've talked about many times on here I do not like, but I do plan on watching some of the movie adaptations. But I wanted to show you this too. I picked up this cute little Darcy's Parlor candle, and I thought that this would be fun to burn during Jane Austen July. I saw this when I was in Charlotte a week ago. I thought it would be fun to just pick this up because I had Jane Austen on my mind for Jane Austen July. Now it's not normally a scent I would choose because it smells very masculine. It is Darcy's Parlor, but I thought it would be fun, and I have a house full of boys anyway. You know, I'm the girl in the group here, and so my men will love the smell of this because it's leather, antique wood, and tobacco. So I'm sure they'll love the smell of this. So I'll have this burning during Jane Austen July as well. So let me know in the comments if you're participating in Jane Austen July and what you're planning on reading. And I always look forward to us talking in the comments. So make sure that if you have any questions or if you recommend a book for Jane Austen July, let me know there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.